You experience highs and lows in life, and then the highs can be so extreme that the low that comes with it, has to balance that. And that's all you have to reference is this like really extreme high. And we started out like on a real high note. Like our first song out the gate is a giant song in the world and will never go away. And that's like a lot. But then it makes anything after that seem less than. This song is me trying to like work that out too and like realize like, with everything that's really great, will come something that's going to bum you out. And then the greater the things get, the easier it is to be disappointed. Jeremy and Brandon, who are in the band, got together one day at Brandon's house and made the beat. And then they had sent it into probably our group chat. It's usually what we do. It was fire, but I don't know if I did anything with it right away. When I did eventually start writing to it, I probably had some of the verse stuff and maybe like the hook melody. I actually wrote this song with a buddy of mine. He's my childhood friend. I've known him for like 10 plus years. So he's my boy. He was really inspired by it too. So like when we got together in a room and the whole band was together, and we kind of just started bouncing ideas back and forth. I think he really helped solidify the lyric and the hook.
Trade the whip out for a bike. Design it for some Nikes.
So when I first moved to LA, I'm from like a suburb outside of LA. I was going on tour a lot at that point in time. My lease was up on my car. I got a bicycle and I hadn't had a bicycle since I was, younger. Did I end up riding that bike a lot? Not too much. It was a lot of Ubering. It was a lot of Ubering to be real, or walking, but still the bike. But it was just kind of like, I had this really dope car and everything. And then there was a moment in time where I was like, I don't even think I want the responsibility of this car right now. I want to go back to this like simple thing. I have a fucking bicycle.
Switch the stripper for a wife. Black tie for a white tee.
I love being fully suited up. It feels amazing, but it's like a full-time, like, you ever taken off like a white shirt at the end of a night? Like even if you're not doing anything wild, it's like your collar's probably a little bit dirty. You're like, fuck, now I gotta take this to the dry cleaner. Like that's such a maintenance thing where like a white tee, you know what I mean? And I've been obsessed with white tees since I was a little boy. Like always had like 50 on deck. Like I can't get rid of them sometimes. It's kind of a problem of mine. But there's just the simplicity of that I just feel like is so important. And that no matter what, no matter how many designer suits I'll ever wear, I'll always love the feeling of waking up in the morning and popping on a white tee.
I've been moving light speed, 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 light speed.
Sometimes it's just like, even when things are great, it's just like, fuck, dude, like I'm going right now. Like my brain is always just like buzzing. So it's like, that's just probably the way that I feel when it comes to moving light speed.
I don't want to try. I keep it cool like iced tea.
The truth is like, I'm always trying. And it's like, but I don't want to, you know what I mean? Like I want that thing where it's just like effortlessness. I don't know if that's who I naturally am, but it's, especially with Chip, I feel like when Chip kind of comes into play, like that's part of this character that I feel like I've created is like this like, nah, I'm cool, I'm chill. Because it's something like I have a hard time. For Chip, I wanted to design something that had more of a chill.
So if I seem shy, it's because it seems so shysty.
Usually I put myself in environments where I feel like I'm going to be able to be vulnerable. It's not hard for me to not be around someone if I feel like the energy was weird or whatever. It's just kind of like I would rather just excuse myself from the situation. I don't want to say run from it by any means, but just like it's not that hard to just like not be around someone if you think that they're shady.
Selling what you buy. Just a product of the 90s. So if you close your eyes, that's where you'll find me.
NSYNC was definitely one of my first and biggest inspirations as a kid. Actually, one of the first things I ever did, like as far as like entertaining people, was a talent show when I was in first grade, I think. And we did NSYNC. I'm always trying to infuse as much nostalgia as possible within the music. I feel like all of us are pretty addicted to that. When you hear something that like reminds you of the past in that way, especially the era that like, when I talk about being a 90s kid, like you're hitting like a specific demographic there. It's an important group of people that I'd like to be able to communicate with and feel relatable to because I'm one of them.
I'm the devil's advocate. You don't know the half of it. Good luck trying to manage it. If a God is a dog and a man is a fraud, then I'm a lost cause.
If this is really that, and this is really that, then fuck me then. I guess I'm just... I need to stop thinking so much about it because it's all bullshit. I feel like, especially right now with everything going on, it's like, oof, it's really hard because we know everything is bullshit now. So it's like so hard to like really, point towards any sort of a North Star or any direction or any leadership because it's like none of us know shit. So it's just about knowing yourself at the end of the day.
22's on the right. Put me back a 5-piece. Same ticket for the rent, but I split it with a dime piece.
See, after that whole bike verse and after talking about being the devil's advocate, what do? I go buy another car again and I put 22s on it. It's kind of like that cycle again, getting back into that cycle. There's good things happening, so I'm able to go buy this new ride and put these wheels on it. She's killing it with what she does. So we get to live in this beautiful place together and split the rent together. The rent costs about as much as those wheels cost me, but I have someone to help me out with it. Do you know what I mean? And it's this balance thing always, you know what I mean?
Married to my friends, they don't always like me.
I got in a contract with all my closest friends and we've been doing this for almost 10 years with each other now. And we went through ups and downs, of course. It's a lot sometimes because you have to be with each other to get the work done, but then you want to, live your own life also. But it takes a lot of time away from just like hanging out as just buddies. Like we don't really do that as much as we used to, And also we're adults now. Like we were younger when we started this and some of us are in relationships. We've had this chance to kind of like start building our own lives as adults outside of this unit that has kind of become our identity in a lot of a way. That part of the relationship, like having to be with each other, that part isn't always the most enjoyable. But I will say, especially through COVID, we've been able to develop more of a tap back into that friendship more. And I just really am appreciative of that part of our relationship right now. Just sitting in a room and playing video games with each other and not having to like, all right, now let's go work on that song or like go rehearse for the tour, We
stay together for the kids. Gotta do the right thing.
We all know the story of the parents that don't get along and stay together for the kids. And like, that also isn't always the best result. So devil's advocate, you know what I mean? Like back again, it's like, well, we're going to stay together and do this because it seems like it's the right thing to do. Like, look what we have. Who the fuck would we be to give this up right now when not only do we get to be in this position to have this as our job, but also this audience of people that really seem to love what we do. And that's so special. And it's like, oh, I don't want to let you down. You know what I mean? Who would have thought that like, I thought that was God, but it's right here in this little beautiful creature.
Oh,
here's my little sewer rat.
So cute.
Who the heck are these people, Meech?